Hello people! Today we're doing a set I'm calling Wine and Roses, and this is the first Valentine's set of the season. So let's get started. I am using a double long or extra long stiletto, and we're going to go in with a layer of this. Now I sped this up a little more than usual because I actually accidentally shot this first part in slow-mo. So that part was a little quicker than normal. Okay, then we're also going in with the rest of them. We're going to have this on it. The whole inspiration for this set came from the jelly polish that we're going to be using for this. That's a wine-colored one. And there's the first coat, and they go to cure, and coat number 2. Now this one's going to look a bit more normal speed. It is sped up to double time, but not as fast as I had to speed the first part up. I don't know if it was just cold, because it is cold here now, or what, but this glitter was like extra thick. I don't know if it's old or cold or both. But it did take a little work to get that chunkier glitter on there. Okay, that should be the last one of those, and then we will cure those. There we are with 2 coats and curing. Okay, now I'm going to go over these 2 nails with the chunkier glitter with 1 layer of top coat to smooth them out, because I'm going to be painting on top of that, and it needs to be smooth. Okay, I've cured those. I'm using this is a coaster I did. This is one of the rejects. I'm trying to learn how to do a resin bloom, and the bloom part came out pretty decent on this one, but I screwed the glitter part up. So I've got a little stack of these rejects. So I decided to use it for a palette. Now anyway, we've got white gel polish on the palette. I'm putting blooming gel on only on the area where I'm going to be painting the roses. I'm not putting it on the entire nail on this one. We don't want it blooming out past where we want the roses to be. So now I'm going to quickly just paint in some really simple roses. Now bear with me because I am not the best at painting roses. I kind of learned how to do this on the fly one time, and I've just been kind of winging it ever since. I need to work very quickly with these because, as you can see, it's already starting to bloom out, and if it takes too long, it's going to bloom out too far, and then it's not going to look like anything when it's done. You'll see I'm going a little bit slower with this first one, and you'll see what happens as to why I'm saying you got to work quickly. Okay, now we're going to start on the second one that's going to be down here. And as I said, these are just like rough roses. They don't need to be real perfect because of how we're going to be dealing with them. So you don't need to spend like an excessive amount of time and stress out over them. And then we're going to do a little partial one over here on the side edge. Okay, now you can see how that first one has bloomed out a bit too much because now I've lost part of my petals. So I'm just going to add a little bit more back on there and let it bloom for just a second, and then it's going to immediately go in the lamp. So it gets cured, it will stop the bloom. I'm going to show you one more. And this one I'm covering the entire nail, so I've got to work even faster now because otherwise it's really going to bloom out far on me. I need to work on my rose painting. Usually I'm not painting roses. I'm either using pre-made, 3D roses or stickers or decals or whatnot. So I don't very often have to paint them. I mean, it's not that big a deal to paint them, just mine are just not that neat. There is a much neater, better way to be doing this, and I have done neater ones in the past, but not on blooming gel, just painting them on. I did a black set with roses painted on white, and then I used pigment powders, different ones to color the roses. I don't remember what I called it now, but it's somewhere in my tutorials. If you guys are interested, you can look it up in there and find it. They turned out better. The roses look better on there because I was taking my time and painting them more neatly. These, as I said, I've got to do quick. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. And in we go to cure. Okay, now there's the rest of them I've done. They're all cured now. Moving on. This is the gel color from Born Pretty that inspired this set. It's a jelly and it's wine colored. It was a little bit too dark in its out of the bottle state, so I'm lightening it up with a little bit of top coat. I did try it with it straight out of the bottle, and it was just too dark. You couldn't see through it enough to see the roses, so I had to wipe that off and then dumb it down some by lightening it up with top. Okay, and now here we go. We're just going to paint this on. Now, since I mixed this myself, now it's going to be streaky, so it was going to take a little finesse to get it to where all the streaks are going to be out of it. So I'm just going to keep wiping over it until I get the streaks to be smoothed out of there. And then I'm just going to feather this back ever so lightly at the top so I don't have a harsh edge. And we're moving on. Now the rest of these, I'm just putting it on where the roses are. If there's any blank background space like that little section there, I'm not putting it over top of that, just where the roses are going to be. Now you can see the difference in color now on this background color as opposed to the solid glitter one. These are much lighter. I probably should have gone over those lighter ones with the second coat so they would have all been the same color, but I did not. I didn't really realize it was that different till I had them cured and I was looking at them later after they were done. But anyway. Now you don't have to use this color, obviously. You can make your roses whatever color you want. They would look nice with red too, I think. But you guys know me, I'm not a red person, so, and plus I wanted to use this particular color. This is one of a new jelly set that I got recently from Born Pretty. They had a bunch of jelly colors that I didn't have. I mean, obviously I can mix my own up, but you see what happens, they get streaky. So if I can buy them pre-done, I'm going to. Okay, those are got their coat on there. They're going to be going into cure here in a second. And in they went. Okay, now we're moving on to painting with painting gel now, not with the top, but not with the regular gel polish. And I'm just going to go along the outer edge of some of the petals to give them some highlights. I'm not doing a full-on outline of every single one, but just giving them a little bit of highlights to give them some definition. As some of these got a bit mushed out from the blooming process. Now I toyed with the idea once I got the white on here of putting a second layer of the jelly over top, so the white lines would still give me highlight under there, but then wouldn't be so bright white. But I decided against it. I was feeling like if I did that, then I might lose a lot of that definition, and I didn't want to have to go over it all again. So I just opted not to, but that is an option. You could do that if you want to tone your highlights down somewhat. And I think, oh, no, I'm going to throw something else on there. I think we're done with that one. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, and that one I will put aside, and I'll show you one more. Now this one I have sped up. This is going to be the last one. I'll do the rest off camera. This was kind of a fun set to do because it's kind of different from what I normally would be doing. I don't know why I don't try to paint flowers more often. I guess laziness, because I usually have stickers or something that are going to come out looking much nicer than the flowers I could probably paint. Unless I'm doing really super simple, like sketchy looking flowers, I tend to go stickers for that, as my hand painting skills are not as good as I would like them to be yet. Okay, I think that's it for that, and I will cure all of those. They've all been cured, and now we're moving on to the stickers. This is where the wine comes in. Well, we'll get to the wine, but starting off with the thumbnail, I'm going to put this little bow on the top. Now, I will come back to this one towards the end because I thought it was looking a little too bare at the top of there. Okay, moving on to the, I think it's the middle finger that I'm doing with the wine bottles and the wine glasses. Now, instead of using those two like champagne glasses that are together, because it had champagne instead of the red wine, I decided not to use those. So I'm using two individual wine glasses that I'm going to have angled so they're clinking together. This one you're not going to see me put on very well because I'm going to be out of shot, but trust me, you'll see it in a minute. Then I decided some of these little bubbles needed to be on here because it was too bare. So I'm just going to add, maybe 3 or 4 of those. Okay, and there's where we ended up there. Going on to the next one. Oh, this is back to the thumbnail with the bows. I added a couple little hearts in there to fill up that space a little bit more. And then on the last one, I've got this heart that's got these little wavy lines and some little tiny hearts. So I'm going to put that at the top of this one. And there we are with the stickers all on, everything painted up. And we're going to be ready for our top coat. And I'm just using my tempered top coat on these. Giving them a quick once over. Also, that will seal the stickers in there, or on there. I'm proud of myself, you guys. I did not use any crystals or any extra bling or any gluing on of anything on these. There we are. Those are going to go into cure. And there they are, all finished. I think they turned out all right. They could have been a little better, but I'm pretty happy with them. And if you guys are, if you like them, please give me a like. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I upload a new tutorial every Saturday. That's it for now. Bye-bye.